Hey guys, this is Carrie Penny, the Happy Crafty Homemaker, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how I did the join in my Addy blanket here. So this is a very basic slip stitch join, and part one of putting this blanket together, I talked to you guys about the tubes and getting those bound off. So here we have 2 tubes, as in true Carrie fashion. I just kind of grabbed some worsted weight yarn, so this one's a little bit thinner than this one, but that's perfectly fine. I mix and match yarns all the time. Both of these have been bound off using the same single crochet method. We are still using our size I crochet hook. Oh, come on. There we go. And this is a Clover Amore. This is my preferred crochet hook, as I've told you guys a number of times over the years. So what we're basically going to do is we're going to take a loop from here and a loop from here and draw it through. And then we're going to zigzag back and forth down the length of our fabric. Now on TikTok, there are lots of cute people who are able to do this laying flat. I find that to be absolutely tedious to try to do that. And setting this up, what you want to do is fold your piece in half with your tails both on the same direction. It doesn't matter if they're both on the right or both on the left. We're going to use one of these tails to bind off or close our last slip stitch. That way it doesn't ladder back down on us. So I find it easier just to always put one. Like for me, I always put it to the left. I'm right-handed, so I put things to the left so it's out of my way. If you're left-handed, put it on the right. If you don't care, be ambidextrous with it. It's up to you. That's a you thing. When I'm working on these, normally, like I've said, these strips for these blankets have been 300 rounds. These are just 25 rounds. So when I'm working on these, I will actually turn it this way and I fold it up like this. That way, oh, of course my camera's being so fidgety. That way I can turn the knit stitches to face me better. I can put the excess off into my lap on the left-hand side because once again, it's out of my way on the left. I'm moving on my right-hand side. I also find it easier to make this motion. So we're going to put our hook into, you can see the V's here. You cannot see the V's here, but there are V's here. And what we're doing is we're joining one side of this V to one side of this V. And I do have my V's both facing the same direction. But you're going to put your hook in here. Then you're going to put your hook in the corresponding spot in your other one, and you're going to draw through. And of course now it wants to come in clear. So yellow through the green, and then green through the yellow. Yellow through the green. And of course this is going to be way more difficult to see than it really is. This is a very simple thing to do, but it is a little fidgety. And I find myself constantly, I'll drop one side, kind of like this. That way I can really use my thumb and my forefinger to kind of turn that loop to where it's really facing me. Yellow through the green. And you can better see what I'm doing there. So I'm picking up the inside loop, green through the yellow, yellow through the green. I'm sorry, I keep drifting off. I can't really see through my camera that well. Yellow through the green. You can kind of drop it back, really see where your V-stitch is there. And split the V, draw the green through the yellow. And that's really all it is. You're just slipping the edge of the two stitches together. And if you make a mistake, just pull your hook out, shimmy back. And then when you stretch that out, you have this beautiful braided join. And you can see, once you start going, you'll have this ridge start to form. You can see it very clearly on the yellow there, where the side of the stitch is being consumed in the join. And you can even see it on the green there, where we have a little bit harder contrast. Let's see if, too much light. There we go. So like I was saying, you're going to kind of take your fingers and pinch that stitch. That way you clearly see it. Oops, I went under 2 bars. I just need the one. Green through the yellow. And then yellow through the green. Green through the yellow. But you'll find the way to hold this that works for you. Once again, this is how holding it works for me. I think using my fingers to kind of manipulate that column of stitches makes it just a little bit easier to get under that loop there. But you can see we have a nice even, and you just want to work up the same bar of stitches, and you will have this perfect knit row here with this little join right there, and you have this perfect braided join, and it's very beautiful on the wrong side as well. I actually kind of prefer the way these loops kind of double braid into each other from the back side. But this is properly the front, and this is just slipping the side of the stitch back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Pop that green stitch back out. And you're just gonna loop the side through. One side. And you're just, the inside side, you're just the two that are side by side there. You're basically taking the half of a stitch from each side and turning it into its own stitch. And like I said, if you get off, if you mess up a stitch, you can just frog it back. It just slides right out. It's a little fidgety once again, but you can very easily unpop these from each other. They're not permanently in place with each other. And slip. And slip. And slip. And slip. I do think it's hilarious that less light is the way to go. I'm going to pull this up to where I can go just a little bit quicker here. Trying to hug my camera is a little bit harder because I want to show you guys how to finish this off. All right, so here we go. I just slip stitched the last two together there. And what you're going to do is you're going to take that end. Actually, there's one more there. Pull that through. Oh, good grief. Now what you're going to do, you get that last loop there. You're going to pull the tail through, and that's going to lock that stitch into place. And there we go. Everything's joined together. It's very super easy. It's just a little fidgety. When we come back through here, as we tie off these, we will trim this and we will actually tack. We will use a single crochet to tack these two pieces together in the middle of the single crochet before we weave in our end there. That way we don't have any gapping. That's something I learned from just trial and error. But you're just going to run this. What? There we go. So you're just going to run this through the yellow single crochet there, just to make sure that the singles meet as flush as we meet down here. And then you're gonna snip this and weave in your end over here, and you can join your next piece, whichever direction you want to join in. But now we have our tubes together. So as always, if you have any questions, please leave a comment in the description or in the comment section down below. You can shoot me an email or a message on Instagram. Those are both in the description box. Part 1 will be listed in the description box of how we did the single crochet cast off. That is, if I don't end up smushing this into one video, I still don't know yet. And I will join you back to join back with you guys in part 3 of this to show you how I did the single crochet borders.